Alright, so here we are back in the paint booth. I now have a gas tank and fairing parts, fenders, and saddlebags sitting in here. I made some stands out of some 2x4s. See here, they hold the fenders decent. Same thing with the saddlebags there. Getting ready to put some water on the floor. Down there is my sprayer. I'm going to wet the floor to keep dust to a minimum. I've already wax and grease removed everything. And next step is to go ahead and spray some water on the floor. Spray some adhesion promoter on all the parts. And then I'm going to have a crack at it with some primer. So I'm not going to be videotaping this process. I decided I didn't want to get overspray on my video camera. So I'm going to do this and then just come back to you and show the results. I will prime a few more parts. I got 3 parts that aren't in here, and I will prime them next. And if I have room in here and I can get some tape or something clear to cover up the camera, I'll videotape the process. Here we are back in the paint booth. Everything is currently drying. The primer went down pretty good. Here's a couple little hiccups, little issues. I didn't get any runs that I'm aware of, but for the most part, everything turned out well. For a second there, when I started painting the paint gun, for some reason threw a couple chunks out. I had cleaned it twice, so I'm not really sure what that was about, unless it was just caking up inside the tip and then came out for some reason. But anyway, yeah, like here's a little chunk right there. I don't know how that happened, but that came out of the paint gun. I did strain everything. There's another one right there, and another one right there. It is primer surfacer, so I planned on sanding it anyway. There's a chunk that came out. Not really sure what the deal was with that, but you know, whatever. It came out good. I'm pretty happy. This is where that crack was that I welded and ground down and body filled. You can see a little bit of a line. There it is right there. You can see the line right here. I think once I come through here and sand this, I think I get it pretty much flat with a block. So we'll move forward with that. If I need to add more primer, then I'll come back and add more primer again, because I do have to prime more. Bags came out good. Everything looks decent in here. I'm ready to start doing my final sanding on these. And again, I still have those 2 bag lids and that front fairing to get in here. So I'll let these cure overnight before I touch them, and then I pull them out of the booth. Quick little update here. I have got all of the body work primed, and it is currently in the process of being wet sanded. I have 400 grit, a bucket of water over there, and I'm currently going at it. I have already wet sanded the 2 little heat shields there. All I have left is the 2 bags, tank, front fairing, and this 1 bag lid. I've already wet sanded the 2 fenders back there in the corner, and I've wet sanded that bag lid and this side cover here and that side cover there. The process has turned out pretty good. So far, there's no need for any glazing putty or anything like that for what we have going on. So I'm just going to continue with the sanding process, or wet sanding, excuse me. And after I'm completely done with the wet sanding, I can start to prep for my paint. So anyway, to be continued. Okay, I'm officially done with all the wet sanding. Everything looks good. The tank is still drying here, but it looks like, it looks like a mirror. I mean, everything looks really good. No issues. Nothing required any additional glazing putty. Thank God. And I got parts drying in the booth in here. This weekend, which is in 2 days, plan on getting in here and throwing down some base coat on some of this stuff. I got to get in here and clean out the booth. I got a lot of overspray sitting on the floor. I got to wash out and vacuum up and all that. So, all right, so we have laid down our first coats of our single stage urethane. This is single stage urethane that I'm using as a base coat. Now it is glossy. There is a touch of orange peel, and it's kind of, I mean, it's like a gloss, but it's kind of a dull almost, because when I got done laying down the actual color, I did what we call a fog coat. I held the gun far away, sprayed it to make sure that the flake from the metallic paint laid down in a uniform pattern. I didn't want to have any lines in it or anything like that. It turned out really good. As you can see, it's got a good reflection there of stuff. The bags are great. The flake looks really good in the paint. I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. I mean, look at that. You can see that fender right there on the side of it. It looks really good. This is going to be nice. I'm going to wet sand this and then come back and add clear coat, high gloss clear, after it's wet sanded. So it should be really nice once I add the clear coat to it. You see me there in it. Hi. So anyway, I didn't do everything at once because this is my very first paint job. I wanted to make sure that if I had any hiccups, it wasn't going to be on everything. So as you can see, there's more body parts laying on the floor over there that need to be painted. My respirator is used up with the filter. These filters are pretty much used up. I'll have to go get some more filters and go get some more filters for the respirator.